My name is Joseph Khaemba. I was born in a small village in Bungoma County called Nasaka. That is close to a major town called Khaemba. That is my mother's side. I was raised up from the same village, that is I schooled up to class 8. I did my KCPE, that was 2008. From a rural school, I managed to score 324 marks. And I remember that time I was the first student with the 324 marks. So growing up in my maternal side, things were hard. And that's when I decided to look for my father. All this period I had never interacted with my father, and so things were not easy. So one day after I had finished my KCPE and results were not out, but then I thought asked myself, how am I going to pursue my education beyond this point? So I started asking relatives who in one way or the other might have known my father. And there was this guy that used to work in Bungoma town as a security man. So one day in the morning, I was actually sent to market to buy a few things, and then I met this guy, and then I told him a story about wanted to meet my father, and I used to hear stories that your home is in Bungoma town. So I asked this guy, you usually go there. Could it be possible that you know a family by this name and this? Yeah. Then the guy told me, yes, I know that family. It's very prominent, known in Bungoma town. That's Kandui. So we planned, and then we set one day to go there. He put me on a bicycle. He used to travel with a bicycle. So I didn't tell anybody on my grandfather's side that I had set to that journey. So we set the journey, and he took me to this place. So because he was also not known there, he just told me, do you see that place? Go and ask around there, the same name. So I went and I asked a lady there. From that point, she directed me to the home, and I went directly to the home. I asked her mother, only to realize she was my stepmother. She told me, if you are looking for Mzee, he's inside. So she also didn't know me. She thought, by that time Mzee was a village man. So she just thought maybe somebody had a complaint, maybe I wanted to see Mzee. So I entered the house and I found Mzee there. We talked, he didn't know me. And then I told him my name, and he said, oh, so you are my son? I told him yes. But then I went directly to the point that I was seeking for a chance that if I get good marks that will enable me to get to the high school, then he should support me. Then he said I should not worry about that. He asked me whether I had come completely to stay with him or I just come and then I go back. But the bond I had made since my childhood with the other side, I told him I will have to go back, yeah, but I will need your help. So he said, even if you will go back then, but let's spend some time together here because you have closed schools, and by the time the schools open, now you will be able to go back. and I will support you from there. My dad wanted me to stay, and I told him I had to go back, but he insisted, and then I asked myself, okay, I haven't also known these people for a while. It would be good that I stay a little, yeah. So I stayed, and now his family is a huge one, yeah, with 9 girls and about 5 boys. So with me, we are like around 14 people. So I had now to, during that short period when we had closed school, I had to decide to stay with them for a while and maybe just get to know them. So I stayed, and exams were out. And in the family, we had done the exams, 2 candidates. The girl from Kandui Primary DEB, and then and now me, now from the other side. So the girl had scored 282, and I had scored 324. There were a lot of frictions now during that time when deciding which school to take, who, and and also very little resources. The family has very little resources. So I was told by the mother now that I have to be patient. They work on the agency to take now the girl to the secondary school, which is boarding, and then now they must begin working on my case. So I was patient. I was during that time, Mzee told me, oh, maybe she'll take you to apply different schools. And I had received a letter from a school in Webuye. It's called Milo Secondary School. I had received a letter from that school to go and join the school. Unfortunately, that was put aside, and I had to look for a school that could be cheaper, yeah, from around. So, because of my desire to at least go to high school, I was okay with everything they said. I was okay with just as long as I could step in high school and study. My father, they were making comparisons between now 2 schools on which to let me join. That is, there is a school called Omalakijana High School, and then another one called, the one I've told you about in Bungoma town. So I chose Omalakijana. It was a day school and walking distance. So I chose it and I joined. Though it was late, everybody had already joined. Those days we used to join February. The deadline was given around 6th of February, but I joined around 13, 14. So reaching there, I wasn't easy. Working every day, coming back, and all these challenges. So I maneuvered through. I from Form 1 went to Form 2. Then in Form 2 is when now real challenges came. Yeah, you realize always the group that is moving from school home because of school fees, morning, even sometimes lunchtime, and a lot of difficulties. So due to these life challenges, and you go home and you sit like 2 weeks, and then you just decide yourself to go back. Decide to go back and just dodge around, and then from teachers so that you can study. Yeah. So that was life in Form 2. Now when I reached Form 3, things changed. They changed our principal, and a new principal came to his school. So he became so strict, and he didn't like these stories of people coming back without school fees and all this. So that is when I realized, now, am I going to drop out again? So I remember that time, Form 3, that first time, Madam now, she was my teacher. She was teaching us English. And I remember she asking me about the challenges that I was going through. And she was seeing them, but she maybe wanted to know much about the real story. So I told her the real issue, there is no money home. Even going back isn't the solution to me. So she told me, okay, go back to class. And she had identified 3 guys in that class, me, and then there's also another friend, and the other friend. So she sent me back to class and go back to her office around 3 p.m. and go there with now these 2 friends. So that 3 p.m. I went and told these guys that we needed to see Madam Ethan. She was to talk to us. So we went there. They also narrated their story. And she told us, now you see, I don't have a solution to much of your problems, but I will tell you one thing. Just go and write a letter. And that letter, you'll be addressing this organization. She gave us the address of the organization. And just tell the organization your problems and why you are not able to pay school fees, the nature of your families, and bring them to me. So we did that, and we took the letters back to her. So we waited for like that term. After we had done that, she talked to the principal, and then principal was like lenient to us and kept telling us, your story, I've heard your story with Madam, but I'm yet to receive a concrete resolution. So I will not send you home, but should anything happen in between me and my Madam's any agreement, just know that you might go back home for school fees. So we said, okay, we waited. Now during second term, Madam came back to call us, and then she gave us a story about the organization now, and she told us how she presented our letters to the organization, and it's looking into it. So we tell also our parents to try in the meantime, so that as much as she's trying, and they should not just relent and we are kept out of class. So we kept hopeful. In the middle of that second term, that is when now even the principal is the one who break this news to us. He told us everything with us is cleared. Yeah. So, and he said you are free to sit in class, study, and then that was how the story. Now, the story about going home actually ikaisha. So we studied well from 3, and I think everything that we had carried from Form 1, the school fees arrears had been cleared, and Form 3 is now okay. Now we went to Form 4, it is okay. So, but you see, when you are taken from Form 3, and that is from Form 1, Form 2, there has been issues. That means Form 1, Form 2, you didn't cover well, you are not stable. So covering it in 2 years, 1 year and a half, was not easy, that work. So we went to Form 4, we worked so hard, and I remember I scored a C+. I scored a C+, and a good friend of mine, another friend of mine, scored a B plane. And we could not join university. So I called him to my home place, now this friend, and then we had to discuss about the way forward. And then the only resolution we came up again with is, you see, now we cannot forge ahead. It seems like things are not working. So why can't we go back to Madame and just ask her about this, if she can give us a chance so that we go back and do something. Then we agreed on that resolution. We looked for Madame. Actually, we went back to school, asked another teacher. He gave us her number. We called Madame, and she gave us an appointment to go to her home place and maybe talk to her what we had planned. So we set to her home, and then we met her there, and then we talked, and then we told her that we would just need another chance in the same school, but we have no idea about the school fees. If she can just step in again, or whatever she would do that we kept in school, then we'll appreciate. And she was actually very supportive. She told us, she took us to school, talked to the principal, and then she went through the organization, and the organization paid for her school fees. So we were kept in the school the whole year. That is 2012 now. Yeah. We are kept in school the whole of that year, 2013 January, up to the time we did our KCSE. And we finished, and my friend scored a B+, I scored a B plain, and now we managed to join university. Yeah. And now that is, I think, because we had not been introduced to the organization, we were just working from behind. Now when we joined university, I didn't know about, personally I didn't know about the organization. Now I'm in campus. I joined Machakos University, he joined Moi University. And then the other guy just proceeded on in the one we did in 2012, proceeded in a parallel program, Egerton University, did a bachelor in education and English literature. So he went that route, but we chose this route. Now I came to Machakos, started my studies, and then I had now to go back again to my background. Yeah, everything to my family. And then in Machakos, things became hard. Yeah, things were so hard. I remember sometimes you call Mzee and he sends you 3,000 and you have to pay rent, and then you have also to pay for food, and that's a whole month. So I started hustling besides studies, and life really became ruthless. I started first year, second year, third year, then went for teaching practice. So when I break, that is 2018, when we broke for teaching practice, I went to Kitui, and then finished teaching practice. We were supposed to come back in session, but then the university decided those people who had break for teaching practice will continue for another long holiday. They should not come back to session. So then I moved from Kitui to Makueni. Now, when I started working as a teacher now, just a BOM teacher at that time in Makueni, I realized I could get like 8K. Yeah, you get 8K, and you compare the life you're going through when you come back to school. You say at least this is better. So until that 2018 May, now we are supposed to go back. But I'm in Makueni. That's when I met my girlfriend. She was also in teaching practice. We met, and somehow we had a child. So we realized now I'm out, not in session. Here, I have now these responsibilities besides studies. So I chose maybe I should now first give priority what is to be a father first, and then look for ways to go back to my studies. That is 2018 May, and then I came to 2019. I went back to school and told them I'll have to put a break for this until sometimes I come back and finish. Yeah, they said okay. I came, and responsibilities became more and more, and you see, with a young child. So even saving to go back became difficult. And I decided to now fully just be out, look for money, and care for family. And if at a point I will get enough, maybe I'll look for ways to go back and finish. So that is 2019. Plans I had to get back to school, saving little I could, start even something like a business, run it for a while, save enough and go back. Now all became shattered when 2020 COVID began. I remember I had started a business in a place, and this was a movie shop, and it had good earnings. That is January 2020. Yeah, all my dreams were there because I had a job and this business. And when I said, okay, if things go well, I combine, by the end of the year, I should combine my resources, and going back to school will not be something difficult. But when the COVID-19 March came in, the movie shop was stopped. People could not gather to watch. Yeah. So that completely again shattered my dreams to go back to school. So I decided now, if we can't, Matiang'i also came up with these restrictions that if you have no TSC, no teaching. That is after schools have reopened from COVID. So then it became hard for me to even look for a school. So I decided maybe I should look on ways to get money, but just for sustainability for a while. So I ventured into online writing. That's what I've been doing up to date. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So, but resources, to gather resources to take me to school, as of now, they have not actually, I can't say there is a possibility soon. Yeah, there is a possibility soon. But my degree is still pending. That is a fourth year, maybe it's a third year, fourth year, because I did teaching practice, and then because of that long holiday that just came abrupt, we could not take those results to school and all that. So maybe they can say, okay, you went for teaching practice, we didn't receive any notification from the school, because I've been there, I've been asking them, the office of teaching practice, I asked them about whether I should present to them the documents, but they are not all. So the challenges, they might say, maybe you come and finish third year, second semester, and then proceed from there. So that is it about Machakos University. As of now, it's not complete. So that is now when I started looking for Madame again, and told her the whole story, that if there is any way she can chip in again and just help me get to finish this, I'll be very happy, because I remember this whole journey, this tertiary education. I remember since first year, it has been a lot of suffering. Yeah, And I wouldn't want to just let it go like that. I really suffered a lot, yeah, enduring the pains. First year you are studying, and you also looking back to the family where I come from, it would be kind of a letdown. Although they expect much from me, but with the little support I receive from them, sometimes they just don't understand what someone goes through when is in school and there's not that sufficient support. The help I used to get, you expect you pay rent from the same, and at the same time it pays school fees. Something that is not even practical. Yeah. So you pay school fees, you finish, and you're like, how will I survive? Yeah, it's because it's not just about clearing school. You have to be in your good condition to be able to study well, and then you go to sit for that exam, pass, and that's the whole thing about learning. So when you have a breakdown of one, it can't work. Yeah. Team Wanyonyi, if I remember back in high school, that is where Team Wanyonyi Foundation got me. If I remember that period and where you took me from that road where I was not able to sit in class, study, and just feel like I was a student in a high school. And I remember you taking me to that position. I feel so glad that you really changed a lot about my life. And so you took me, the dream I ever had about joining university and studying in any field that I was so passionate about, you made it possible for me. And therefore, I joined Machakos University, and as per the story that I've given, the challenges and all sorts of things that happened between me and my degree at Machakos University, I just want to say I'm yet to finish the degree. If there is any way that the Team Wanyonyi Foundation can come in again and help me finish this last year in my 4-year university campus, I will feel so much happy and I will appreciate. And I also want to say that if I complete this degree, I want to become someone that will emulate the hard work and the lifestyle that Team Wanyonyi wishes to impact to people. That I become someone who changes somebody's life. There are so many people out there that have no opportunities, and not everybody is reaching out to them. But if we have someone out there who's making an effort to reach to these people and change their life and impact their life the way you are doing, then the world tomorrow will be a better place. I just hope and wish that you help me finish this degree and become someone helpful in the society.